Hey guys, so this is just going to be a short little video. It's a follow-up to the Body Snatchers video. So if you haven't seen that, this video may not make a lot of sense to you. But if you have seen it, then this is going to blow your mind. This is absolutely crazy. So before I get into this, let me give you just a tiny bit of backstory which will help you understand what happened. So probably a few months back, I was looking to just unwind, just to watch something, some kind of TV show or something, not TV show, but, on Prime. And most of the shows on there are about homosexuality or have sex or violence in them. So it's very hard for me to find something that I actually want to sit through. Now, there are two kinds of space people when it comes to being brought up in the US. You either like Star Trek or Star Wars. I was brought up on Star Wars, so I was never into Star Trek. So when Picard, the series on Amazon, came across the options of shows to watch, I decided to give it a try because I figured, well, there's probably not sex or homosexuality or, things I don't want to see in this show. So over a period of time, I don't know, it was probably a week or two or whatever, I ended up watching like 7 episodes of the first season, and then I stopped. And that was a couple months ago. Alright, so now we fast forward. Now I make the video, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. The very next day, I was looking to unwind and just veg out for a little bit. And so I was going through programs looking for something to watch, and Picard came on my recommendations. So I was like, alright, well, I'll just watch another episode of that, I guess. It's been a while. So I started back up at season 1, episode 8. And as soon as I started watching this, my mind was blown. I ended up having to watch the rest of the season, or the series, because I could not believe what I was seeing. Alright, for the first 7 episodes of the first season, I saw nothing. But when I repicked it up after I made Invasion of the Body Snatchers at episode 8, some incredible things started happening. I saw everything that I was talking about in this one show. And I'm not kidding. Everything. From the Circumpunk to 7-Eleven to 101. Unbelievable. To Q, all of it. So this video is going to be me talking over some clips showing you guys some absolutely insane things that were just given to me right after I made Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Not that I need confirmations from the Lord, because I don't. I listen to his voice. I do what he says. I have faith. I don't need confirmation. But when I saw this, it just blew my mind. It was like the cherry on top. So I think you'll find the same thing true. Check this out. And we're also given a year. Definitely going to want to watch this one to the end. Serious disclosure. And people need to know this information. So, I just want to remind you that I never watched Star Trek. I knew nothing about Borg, nothing about any of this stuff, really. So when I saw all this stuff, I was absolutely beside myself. Now, these two are inside of a Borg cube. Okay, this is Metatron's cube. They're all controlled by a hive mind, imprisoned by the Antichrist spirit. Now, this woman here, she is a Borg who escaped from what they call the Collective. Her name is Seven, which will make some crazy sense in a minute.
Are those Borg life signs?
Alright, I slowed this down so that we can see, and I'm even going to pause it. And back it up a notch. Alright, this is inside the Borg cube. So you can see, if you look on the left side of the screen, there are 101s, 101, 101, 101. Okay, and you can see underneath the 0, the O, that there is a life form. This is someone who has been spiritually possessed, locked inside of Metatron's cube, or in Star Trek, the Borg cube. This is exactly what we were talking about, spiritual possession 101. And remember, I showed you, you can see there's a dot in the middle of the circle. That is the circumpunct, which we talked about. This is crazy, because this is exactly what I was showing all of you. Let's continue.
Do they frighten you?
I'd be a fool if they didn't.
Look at all the 101s inside the cube.
Something far worse is coming, Centurion.
Okay, now this is Seven. This character's name is Seven. She's about to jack into the Borg cube because she is part Borg. Possessed. Now look at the X in her eyes, right? Left eye. Well, her right eye, which is on the left, we have an eye with an X. And then we have an X with an eye on the right, right? Because it would be a reflection of the other eye. So we have IX, XI. There's 911. This character's name is Seven. Remember I told you that the circumpunct stood for their god, which is Lucifer, the 7 rays. I told you that the circumpunct, the circle with the dot in the middle, stood for the number 7. This character's name is Seven, and she's jacking into the cube to possess all the people that are inside of it.
We are Borg.
Okay, see, she's taking them all over. They're all turning green,
Now!
entering into the hive.
No!
Okay, now they open up the cube, and all these possessed people go into outer darkness. All the people who are taken over by the 101 spell, the 711, were sent into outer darkness. I hope you can see the spiritual side of this, because it gets so much crazier. So this is the cube.
The fleet. They're leaving now.
They are gone. It is over. The cube is ours again.
Are you going to assimilate me now?
So they're gone. The cube is theirs again, so it belongs to the Borg. And then the kid asks, are you going to assimilate me now? That's what they do. They assimilate you. They bring you into the hive. When I was seeing this stuff, I could not even believe it. So before I move on, I just wanted to say that this same idea of being assimilated into a Antichrist mindset can also be attributed to Star Wars. So just like the Borg cube is the prison for the Borg, and how they become possessed by the Borg hive mind, so is the Empire and the First Order from the Star Wars series. The Stormtroopers are the Borg. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If you look at the Stormtroopers' uniform from the older Star Wars movies, you will see on his back in this little square there is a circle and an 11. We've covered in the last video that the circle is 7 and the ones obviously are 11. So here is your 711 or 101. Now, on the new Star Wars uniforms, this is removed, but the symbolism is still found in a different way. This is the back of a First Order, the new Star Wars movies, the last 3 they just made. Here you can see the circle and the 11. Here is your 711 or 101. This is about possession, okay? The Stormtroopers are possessed by the dark side, the Emperor, and the Borg are possessed by the Borg Queen, the Hive Master, the Queen Bee. Same exact symbolism, same exact possession. Antichrist spirit. So to keep this video short, I cut out a lot of stuff, obviously. Can't just show you the show, because what's the point of that? You could just watch it. But I kept everything that I thought would help you understand what I'm trying to show you. So they have been taken to an alternate timeline. It's reality, but they're in an alternate timeline. And they were taken there by you know who. And if you don't, have a listen.
Such a name?
What is happening here?
An excellent question, Jean-Luc.
Oh, I've missed you. No.
Q. God damn Q.
So Q has taken them to an alternate timeline. So here the spirit of Antichrist rears its ugly head. First we saw 7 opening up the spiritual possession in the Borg cube with the 101, right? With the circumpunct in the center. And now we have Q, who is bringing them into an alternate timeline.
Do you recall what I said to you when last we parted ways? The trial never ends.
Here is the timeline they have been put into in the fake globe Earth. And you can see that it is covered by hexagons. It is all inside of a hive, just like the Borg, the collective, are a hive mind mentality. So is the Earth, because it is Satan's world. Q's world. The Matrix.
What is this?
This is home.
What have you done?
Show them a world of their own making and they ask you what you've done.
Q, have you had enough of playing games with other people's lives?
How unfair time is. So many disappointments.
What do you want, Q? Harvest was this morning.
Same day, same time. Different harvest.
So I hope you see the spirituality in this. He says Q's playing games with him. And then Jean-Luc, who is the Antichrist person, okay, Q is the spirit of Antichrist. But Picard is the embodiment of the Antichrist. He will be the physical manifestation, like what Obama will be. So Picard says, but the harvest was this morning. And Q says, same day, same time, different harvest, right? Because he seeks to change the times and the laws.
I intervened.
What do you want, Q?
Oh, I could tell you, but you're far too clever to listen. This is not a lesson. It's a penance. Through a mirror darkly. Through a mirror darkly. And here the man who holds the glass is darker still,
There's a lot of scriptural influences in this. Now, in this scene, we are going to see the 7 heads of the first beast of Revelation 13 described in Revelation 17.
Caldecott.
There they are. Count the skulls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the 7 heads of the beast of Revelation. Okay, these are what represent the 7 presidents. Then you have the Antichrist spirit, who possesses Picard, who is the Antichrist embodiment. Now we will get a closer look at the 7 heads.
Caldecott. Executed in the Ithian forest.
Look at its head. A bullet wound. And I saw one of its heads as it were wounded to death. Here is the wounded head. But the beast did live.
General Martok. After a bioengineered virus, by all accounts a nasty little creation, decimated his Klingon homeworld. Director Sarek decapitated.
What is this hellhole, Q?
Don't worry. I won't let you do this alone.
Insinuating that he brought his whole crew here to this alternate timeline. Of course, they don't know it's an alternate timeline yet. They think they're just in some kind of hell. And hell gets referenced, as you just heard. So there you saw the 7-headed beast with the Antichrist spirit Q and the Antichrist Picard. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm trying to show you. Okay, so this is 7. She would be considered the goddess, Isis. And here is her medallion. Now, in this alternate timeline, she is the president. Okay, the Antichrist goddess, the president. I guess she would be the whore of Babylon. And look at the symbol. It's a crescent with a star, which looks like an upside-down cross. This is the star of Isis, which we spoke about in one of the last videos. Like the last 2 or 3 videos that I made are all coming through in this one show, which to me is absolutely crazy.
Obviously, this is an alternate reality.
Actually, the Borg Queen here has a different theory.
War Queen here.
She suggested that there may have been a divergence in time.
Time. Of course. That's how he did it. This is not another reality. This is our reality. He went back in time and changed the present.
Daniel 7:25. This is talking about the Antichrist. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and dividing of time. So here you see that the Antichrist will think to change the times and the laws. Okay, he changed the time. He put them in another timeline where the laws are different. They are in a nightmarish totalitarian state. I hope you can see what's being shown to us.
He went back in time and changed the present. An entity called Q.
How do we make this Mr. Alphabet undo what he did to us?
So Q went back in time to change the present. He shall seek to change the times and the laws. So Q went back in time to change the present. Does this sound like anything that's happening, I don't know, right now in society? Maybe the Mandela effect? Okay? This is hugely spiritual. They are giving away the cake.
An entity called Q.
How do we make this Mr. Alphabet undo what he did to us?
He transformed the entire galaxy.
We're not the only ones who recognize that time is broken.
I know you can see the divergence in time. What did Q do in the past?
Alright, so now he's talking to the Borg Queen because she can live and see outside of one timeline. Now he's trying to figure out when back in time that Q went and altered the timeline. Now pay close attention to this.
What did Q do in the past? When he turned our world into a polluted, totalitarian nightmare. Answer the question. What did Q do?
A temporal rescission. A single change.
What was it? When was it?
Calculating. 2024. 2024. That is the when, where is the where?
Are you hearing this? 2024, you guys. That's next year. When Q turns this world into a totalitarian nightmare. This fits along the timeline of everything. Joe Biden being kicked out of office, Kamala Harris taking over, the whore of Babylon rising up into power, doing away with the Constitution, all your freedoms, all your rights, a police state, the Iron Kingdom coming in. This is insane.
That is the when, where is the where? Calculating. Earth. The change in the timeline originates there. In Los Angeles. There is someone there to help. A watcher.
So the change takes place in Los Angeles. That means city of angels, city of fallen angels. And they have to go there and find the Watcher. This is so satanic and so informative to those with open eyes.
Seek the watcher.
Absolutely crazy.
Why has all of history been changed? Because of Q. That's why. For decades, you've played games with whatever Q is. Because that's what the two of you do, right? You screw around with people's lives for sport.
So that's what I was saying earlier, that Picard is the Antichrist figure and Q is the spirit of Antichrist. If you wonder how that works with the spirit of Antichrist and the Antichrist, think of it as the opposite of the Father in Jesus. You have the spirit and the fleshly man.
It's only a partial assimilation.
Halfway to hell, halfway to hell, halfway to hell is still not a recommended destination.
She is wanting to tap into the Borg Queen to find the Watcher, and she is talking about assimilating. And this is what the Borg does. They assimilate people into the collective to make them into the hive mind, to bring them into the Borg cube. All right, Metatron's cube, Satan's prison. And so, as Picard is saying very clearly here, halfway to hell is still not a good destination. Okay, because when you are possessed by the evil spirits, you are halfway to hell.
Seems that I have taken time for granted of late, and now she's threatening to abandon me. In 17 seconds, you're going to take a seat. How do I know? You're desperate.
So, here's Q saying in 17 seconds, you're going to take a seat because you're desperate. 17. That's Q. Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet.
There. 17 seconds. Right on the tick. Who the hell are you? I am the evolution of stardust. I'm the gentle flutter of a butterfly. I'm the gentle flutter of a butterfly. I am death. Destroyer of worlds. Destroyer of worlds.
There you go. That's who Q is. Apollo, Shiva, destroyer of worlds, the Antichrist spirit.
We're all hostages to what we love. The only way to truly be free is to love nothing.
As long as Renee is being targeted by a god, or whatever this Q is, no safe house on Earth can protect her.
There is no better teacher than one's enemy. But I've been letting him control the lessons. Know thyself. What if the lesson I take is know him? I always filed Q as unknowable. He's saying it's about me, but it's deeply personal and urgent to him.
Because he knows his time is short. Right? He knows he hath but a short time. He's loosed from the prison for a little season. This is why so much evil preparation is going across the earth right now. Because once Satan's loose, he only has a short time. So this is prep.
We can go on offense.
It sounds like you want to summon Q.
You can't really want me to summon a Q. My people and the denizens of the Q continuum struck a truce.
Denizens?
Well, I'm not going to call them gods, that's for damn sure. Metal and liquid can capture the half.
So this lady's some sort of alien. So maybe Nephilim, maybe Siren, the woman that slept with the angels, they became sirens. But I don't really know. It's really irrelevant because my whole point here is showing you about Q and the fact that they call him a god or refer to him as a powerful spirit. So let's continue.
I'm sure. Metal and liquid can capture the half-life of a moment.
Moment itself is still...
I'm not exactly sure what she called it, but it sounds like metal in liquid. So what she has in this bottle is black goo. Graphene. Nephilim DNA.
Of a moment.
Moment itself is still inside.
Here it comes. Look at how thick it is. That's
You
graphic.
can get the attention of the player, our friendly neighborhood Q.
So in order to summon Q, right, to become possessed, she is drinking the graphene. You guys, this is crazy. I couldn't even believe I was seeing all this, especially right after I did those videos. This is just unbelievable. And I think that the Lord showed me this so that I could bring it to you guys, so that anybody who was taken aback by the last few videos can see confirmation all in one show. As I said, I speak what I'm led to by the Lord, so I don't need confirmation for myself. But I understand that people who are new to coming to truth, or even some of the things that I share, are really out there, because truth is truly stranger than fiction. And I understand that it's hard to break through the matrix. So I think the Lord is just giving people some reassurance that yes, this is exactly what is going on. So that screech she lets out, that's like that 5G screech. That frequency, the same one is used in the movie The Cell, where the dude in the red hood opens his mouth and that pitchy screech comes out. It's been used in other movies too. This is what happened to her after she drank the Nephilim DNA. She became possessed through the technology and the frequencies.
Dawn in terror as a Starfleet recruitment building, a symbol of peace and a symbol of peace and a symbol of peace and hope to many, was destroyed.
So I thought I had recorded it, but I guess it was in the episode before this. But what you're seeing on the TV screen is on the left-hand side, where the smoke's coming up from the ground, this building sank into the ground and then reappeared in the air and fell on top of all this area, creating even more destruction. And wait till you hear what this is.
So far, 117 are confirmed dead.
117 confirmed.
So far, 117 are confirmed dead. 7, 11, 101, 117. This is the Antichrist number. This comes up a lot when talking about the Antichrist. You will also remember this number from the video I did about the children's Disney movies. A117, Antichrist 117, which is also the chemical number for Dromkrino.
117 confirmed. 117 that could have been avoided had I been faster. They're pawning this off on Larock Taluko? A Romulan triggerman who's... and steal some.
So, they're blaming this crime on Larock Taluko. Well, let me tell you about Larock Taluko. As soon as I saw his name, I saw that his last name was Occult, backwards. And I didn't know what to make of his first name backwards, kind of like Carol or Carol. So, I typed it in to DuckDuckGo and was led to this article. Phallus in the Boar, Turkey digs up clues to human history. Now, one thing that I did not tell you about the Circumpunct in the Body Snatcher video was that it is an overhead view, the circle and the dot we're talking about, their symbol for God, okay? It's an overhead view of the Washington Monument and other obelisks like the one at the Vatican and the one in London. So if you look at the Washington Monument from above. Now this isn't directly above, but if you flew directly above the Washington Monument, you would see that it is a dot inside of a circle. Okay, this is the circumpunct. This is a symbolism for Osiris's phallus. I will be reposting my America the Dark Truth video because this stuff is in there and it's mind-blowing, and if you don't know it, you should definitely know and understand it, because it just shows you how spiritually wicked this nation is. So this is the circumpunct. So this phallus makes sense that they're finding this. Okay, this is October 25th, 2023, this article's written. That just went by. So, if we scroll down a bit, here is why the name Karul came up. See, this is Lurak backwards. So this place that they found and undug all this stuff is called Karahan Tepe. So Karahan Tepe is a part of the network around UNESCO's listed Göbekli Tepe, a place where our prehistoric ancestors gathered to worship more than 7,000 years before Stonehenge or the earliest Egyptian pyramids. Okay, now this is all speculation and made-up history by the narrators that we call archaeologists, who really are clueless and just make things up as they go along. Whatever Satan wants them to believe is what they believe. So, this is part of the area where Göbekli Tepe is. So, Nekmi Karul, who heads the prehistory department of Istanbul University, found the toppled statue that was broken into 3 sections. So we have a statue that's broken. We have found several statues of this kind, but for the first time here we found the phallus. Okay, now understand the story of Osiris is that he was cut into many pieces, okay? 14 pieces. And Isis found 13 of the 14 pieces. The only piece that she didn't find was his phallus. So when they're talking about the statue broken into sections, and for the first time they found the phallus, this is talking about Osiris. Okay, this is the spiritual implication of this. And I was led here by this one word backwards that I had no idea about. So said the archaeologist who coordinates the work of the project focused on the area's settlements. The man lay in one of the first rectangular buildings, probably as a pillar. Okay, so Osiris is a pillar supporting the wooden roof, clues to how people use the site. Karul said these settlements bear witness to a new social order born after the Ice Age. So a new world. Okay? Forget about this Ice Age stuff. Just try and see what this is saying. Read between the lines. The main reason to start a new kind of architecture is to build a new type of society. I hope you can see the Antichrist in this highlighted section, because I sure can. And when you mix Karul with occult, this is what you get. I couldn't even believe this. Who'd have thought, just by putting that name in backwards, because occult caught my eye, that this occultish new social order system to build a new kind of society from Osiris's broken pieces, because now they have the phallus and he can be completed, is just unbelievable.
Rock Toluco? A Romulan triggerman who's... And steal some world-ending portal tech? World-ending portal tech? World-ending portal tech?
So, what you witnessed with that building falling into the ground was world-ending portal tech. Can anybody say CERN? Can anybody say Revelation 9? Can anybody say opening of the bottomless pit? Because that's exactly what they're saying. 7-11, the ritual sacrifice, opening of the pit, a portal to hell.
World-ending portal tech? World-ending portal tech?
Starfleet Command has terminated investigation. Disengage.
Hell no. And 117 people are gone.
118 should you continue.
117 gone. 118 should you continue. Now, you're seeing that the 117, that's opening of the portal, the sacrifice. We talked about all of this in the Body Snatcher video. So 8 times 11 is 88. So here's your portal. Should you continue into the portal to the Antichrist and become spiritually possessed with the 101 ritual that took place in 2001? I hope you guys are seeing what I'm trying to show you. So guys, that's all I got for you on this video. I hope you picked up everything I put down and are heeding the warnings that are coming out of these videos, because time is so short. Get into your Bibles, study the scriptures, beware of the enemy, beware of wolves in sheep's clothing. For what fellowship hath light with darkness? None. If you know evil people or godless people who refuse the word of Christ, then depart from them. Depart from this Babylonian system. Be in the world, not of the world. These warnings are for us to heed. Yes, they're very interesting and crazy to watch. But the most important thing about these videos is that we heed the warning that's in them. God is trying to warn us, because his people perish from lack of knowledge. So attain the knowledge. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened to you. Until next time, take care.